I think we got it. Sorta. I think we sorta got it. This is life in real time.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we got it. Sorta.
What is happening to life? It's fine until it's not fine.
I got it.
It was fine until it's not.
I got it. 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 So listen, we got it. People are gonna find us. They're gonna find it.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
It's wild right now, but they're gonna find it and it's gonna be great.
Yeah. Come on back, guys.
So here's the thing. Our job is just to show up.
Check. Doing it. It's not to be perfect?
No.
Okay.
No.
Hey.
No.
Good thing.
We
Good
got to
thing.
do this thing right, real, and in
Yeah.
real time.
All right.
So talk amongst yourselves while I try to find our sisters and brothers in the internet. Because I know, oh my gosh, that first little episode, we just had a moment. Some of y'all might have caught it. I don't know if it saved itself. But I think we did it. I think we actually are live on YouTube.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Someone is here.
Yes.
In just a second, we're going to be able to actually watch the chat with them and like, look, we're doing it. Look,
We're doing it.
there's a chat right there, Vic.
Yay, doing it.
Let us just be old aunties for a second and be proud of the fact that we got on the internet. We have it recording on the side, although there's stuff kind of blocking it. It's okay. Y'all don't see the interference and the mess ups.
No.
Okay.
No, we got 3 people.
It's not going to disrupt y'all flow.
Yeah. That's what? 3 people. Let's
you
go.
see what I'm saying?
Let's go.
We are doing it. We are live on the internet and we are able to watch the chat up close. Y'all have no idea what a victory. Okay. Seeking, asking, we are doing big things. Okay.
Oh,
so dear God.
We're finally doing this. Been waiting a long time to be able to really.
You guys have no idea what is happening right now. Y'all know I be calm, cool, and collected most days, and yeah, today was not that day. I was real nervous.
I could tell.
I still am.
I could tell my empathism was feeling it.
I don't know what the hell is about to happen. And that's kind of like the joy and then also the terror. I have no idea what's about to happen.
It's going to be good, though. It's going to be great.
And I'm not just talking about today. It's not going to be good. It's going to be what?
Great. I'll give you some.
No, our job is really just to show up, y'all. Let's start with who we are, where we are, what we're doing, what this is. I'll start.
Go start. Tag, you're it.
Oh my gosh, you guys. I know most of you probably already, but my name is Allah-mi Basheer. I am an intuitive self-mastery coach. I'm a mom. I'm a partner. I'm an entrepreneur.
Today's her kid's birthday.
Today is my kid's birthday. Yeah. I got a set of incredible twins that are turning 20 years old today, and that's pretty exciting. Thank you for remembering that. But above all things, I started this podcast a few years ago, and called Be Great Every Day, the podcast. Welcome, y'all. First of all, welcome to Be Great Every Day, the channel. What y'all gonna learn is that this is not just a place. This is becoming an ecosystem. Yeah. And larger than I could have ever imagined, what God is really sending me to do through this platform and many of the other platforms that Vic and I are building. It really is remarkable and vast. So while today you guys will get to know us in this container called a podcast, and we're going to talk about ourselves. I'll let Vic introduce herself. And I really just want to say to you all, if you're not familiar with this platform, Be Great Every Day, the podcast, it really is intended. Our subcontext is real talk and true stories about everyday problems. But our context is really about solutions.
Yeah.
And y'all may know that I ran this podcast solo for about 9 episodes a few years back. And it was a good time. I had a real fun time, like interviewing people and talking about things, but I also felt lonely. Y'all know I could talk. And don't nobody just want to sit and listen to me talk like for days on end. I don't even want to do that. So I thought it'd be really cool to bring in not just a co-host. Many of y'all already know this clown.
What's up? Hey, y'all.
But without further ado, I felt it was just not enough energy here. And in the pursuit of bringing y'all more robust content and more insightful strategies, since that first episode, those first episodes of the podcast, I've grown personally a lot, learned a lot. And human design in particular entered my life a couple years ago and has rocked it completely. And so it's not just about giving you all strategies, but even more insightful, customized, and personal strategies, literally teaching you how to live life by design. I ran across this soul who knows more than her fair share about human design and so many other things that I know are going to add so much value to this place and space. Many of y'all already know her as Vic or Vicky Lee. I formally introduce to you all the real Victoria Lee, our resident human design specialist.
Thank you. Hey, y'all. Hey.
Awesome partner extraordinaire.
Yay.
Just all around dope individual, truly.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, for sure.
Sweet. So glad to be here. I'm excited. I'm Victoria. Call me Vic, Vicky. You know, just don't call me, I say, late for dinner. That was old. That was really old. That was lame.
So, you know, people will figure out if they belong here or not because we have a lot of auntie-ism to us, right?
Yeah. I'm actually a grandmother, so it goes even older than that.
Yeah.
But we're youthful at heart.
Yeah.
And love for helping people and just, you know, taking your life to the next level. There's no age to that. There's no age range. There's you never get too old or know too much to want to level up your life. And not that long ago, you know, we've been looking for a moniker.
Yeah.
Looking for something to kind of like, what's the best way to describe what we're trying to do, what we have done, and level up. This is what we're doing. This is what we are currently doing for our own lives. And we love to help other people figure out what that looks like for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like this is the perfect platform.
Not just love it, we live for it. I mean, we eat, sleep, drink, and everything else. Personal growth, not just your personal growth, like our own. And I think that's what's so remarkable about the energy we bring, if I'm just being honest, is that we're not just talking heads, telling you about a bunch of stuff that we don't actually apply and practice. And while we are not perfect individuals and very much on our own individual and collective journey, is we still are doing our active work. And, you know, with this platform, Be Great Every Day, it really is centered around challenges and problems. But again, how to resolve them. You know, it's how to take care of yourself better. It's how to, you know, strategize better in your life, where you're going, what you want from it, how to attract better and healthier relationships, better and healthier lifestyle practices. Some of y'all may have already noticed as you came over to the channel. By the way, shout out to everybody in the space. What's up, Jordan? You may have already noticed that on the main banner of the page, it says community, culture, lifestyle and apparel is because Be Great Every Day is comprehensive. It is not just a singular platform. In my estimation, it really is a lifestyle movement toward community building, toward really conscious culture shifting, culture making. It's toward intentional living and conscious and choice making in our lifestyles. And we got some dope apparel and fashion coming your way too.
Oh
So
yeah.
I'm y'all know I like that. I do. I like a little flash.
Yeah.
And
You toned it down a little bit today.
I literally went through like how many like iterations of this
You're
outfit
like
today.
maybe 3, 4. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, I had on like
Yeah.
4 different pairs of glasses,
Mm-hmm.
few different
That's true.
shirts,
Mm-hmm. But you,
and this is where we landed.
I think you got it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, touchdown.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So today, what are we gonna do today? A few things and a lot of things. Yeah.
I think today a great starting point is just like, who are we?
Yeah.
Let's just, who are we? Why do we do what we do?
Mm.
How do we even get here?
Wait, can I start before that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Me. So let's be really transparent. So first of all, we recorded an episode maybe like 5 months ago as we were rebooting this. Like 5 months ago, we were rebooting this podcast. Had a beautiful set. You saw a lot of that in some of our promo.
Mm-hmm.
And this was when we were in the US. And it was fun. It was cool to put it all together. And then we recorded an episode. But then I think we both agreed that it didn't feel authentic.
Yeah.
And I am personally a champion for authenticity.
Mm-hmm.
And not just a champion for it. It's like I actually need it in life to survive.
Yeah.
Like I need real pure experiences that are not kind of caged or performative or kind of put on for people. For me, what's so important in my life journey is to really share what authentically is happening in my real life in real time. And that doesn't mean y'all don't know all the things about all the things, but I do think it's important to know that people like us who are teachers and instructors and guides, like we all on our journey.
Yeah. It's real important to know that we got to let people know we're real people.
Yeah.
I think in my experience, so many helper healers or people who hold themselves in a place of service,
Yeah.
we tend to like hide who we really are, or we only reveal the parts of ourselves that we think is acceptable or shows that we are, you know, at the higher level that we say we are. It's like, but how do you relate to people like that? How do you even know?
Yeah.
It's like I don't want to be disconnected from people in a place to where you feel like, oh, they're different than me. And I really love that we get the opportunity to be exactly who we are. You know, it's kind of like reminds me of a relationship. Relationships, if you give it long enough, when you first meet someone, you meet their what they're called their representative.
Right.
It's a side, it's their best foot forward. It's the side of them that they want you to see. But then if you wait for a minute, the other parts are going to show up
Eventually.
And so I want people to see who we are. This is not representative time. This is not we cute.
We put it on a little bit, but
light beat. But
it's like we want it to be like cool, like you guys are hanging out with us.
Yeah.
And we're talking all the time about all kinds of things. We talk about all kinds of. This girl right here is so brilliant, and I can't wait for her to share more of herself on this platform and other platforms, and in her teaching capacity, in a mentor capacity, and a coaching capacity. And this is not to like hype you up for a second,
okay, you can hype
but I think people really need to know like more about you. So I want to be able to ask you more questions and to really introduce more facets of your experience to this platform.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah. And to that end, it's not just introducing ourselves to you, is we want to get to know more of you, because it is our life's work to really help people change their lives. Like that's not just something we talk about in passing. That literally is what we're here to do. And so many of you were even personally invited to this particular podcast and platform to hear more about what that looks like to continue to be in community with us, and for us to be in community together, I should say. As you know, I know so many of you have gifts and skills and talents, and oh, that's okay.
I knocked it over.
It's okay. Nobody needs to know that we had flowers that were looking so beautifully in our camera. It's all good.
Okay,
Whatever.
carry on.
So, to that end, no, honestly, to that end,
This is an example that it don't be perfect all the
listen,
time.
this is not about that. If I need to get up and go to the bathroom while we're recording, you're gonna see that brown door right there open, and I'll be disappearing, and I'll come back. Like, this is community. Like, this is what it feels like to me to build community. And so, the behind the scenes stuff, many of you will maybe stick around after we finish live on YouTube and come around to the after show.
I hope so.
And, so we can really even have a more in-depth conversation about what's really happening right now.
Yeah.
But this Be Great Every Day, the podcast, again, is real talk and true story. So I think today we want to talk about our story individually, and we'll graduate to maybe what it looks like collectively. But we live well now. We haven't always, and there's still even components to our life that are very challenging, even right now today. But it's not about having no problems in life. Those of you who are really waiting for life just to ease up and be, problem free or challenge free, disruptor free, it's probably just not even a reality to expect in this dimension. It's just the opposite, is that we've actually come here to face challenges and to overcome them and to move through them and learn lessons along the way and magnify our personal gifts and impact people and leave our mark and all of these kinds of things. And so this platform is more than just a podcast. I'd like to describe it as more like a social show, or maybe even a social art experiment where we're just co-creating in real time with you, with each other. As we get downloads, we'll share them, bursts of insights, um, that kind of thing. But we're here to respond to you all. And so the kind of topics that we really focus on are going to be really coming from you. We have our own laundry list of things that we want to tackle and things that we find important. But we want to make this a really personalized community experience to where we're not just, quote, talking heads, but we're actually addressing the problems that you all are facing in real time.
Absolutely.
You want to say anything about that?
Yeah, these are times when we really need to start expressing how we feel. I don't know what it feels like to not have somebody to talk to. I do know what it feels like to not have someone to relate to me, though. So I've always had people to talk to, but it's it's the relational part, the people that actually get me, who are actually walking the same direction that I'm going. And I'm really grateful for this opportunity to connect with you guys and have a real, like a community, have a space and a place where we can actually not just be heard, but actually listen to each other.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's in the listening that we actually get to learn.
Yeah.
And grow.
Yeah. So, so somber, this message.
No.
You're so serious.
I'm sorry. I'll be getting a little deep every now and then.
Every now and again.
Bring it back.
So let's talk about maybe, or if maybe I can ask you a little bit of some questions.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was the download you got before we went live about questions? I actually
Ah,
wasn't expecting to ask you a lot of questions, but once you said it, I was like, yeah.
yeah. So I was putting on my little makeup, and Spirit said, "Tell Allah-mi, don't be afraid to ask you hard questions." And in this season of my life, I'm being obedient, so I've trot on out here. Hey, Allah-mi, Spirit said, don't be afraid to ask me some hard questions. And of course, I don't know what a hard question is. Guess we'll have to see what that is. But yeah, so I'm open. I'm open.
So, Vic,
Yeah.
can you show the audience your left arm?
Mm.
And let's have you show it into this
Uh,
camera right here.
okay. So,
It's probably not going to show up right
okay.
side up, but can
Can
you
y'all
all make that out?
get a little closer without knocking everything over?
Please don't.
Okay.
God Almighty.
It's in cursive, so
Can you all make that out? Yeah, I see
I
it.
am enough.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So, where did that come from?
ah. Um.
And let me just say, let me preface this with just a little bit. Is to me, it's kind of boring to say, like, okay, so tell me about yourself.
Yeah.
Where you
Yeah.
from?
Yeah.
You know, what you used to do for work? How many kids do you have? What's your favorite color? Let's get to the nitty gritty. And
Yeah.
you know,
You did. You
I
did.
told y'all I like fashion.
Yeah.
And fashion is everything. And fashion is not just what we wear on top of our body,
Yeah.
it's also what we adorn our bodies with,
That's
right?
true. That's true.
And so
Mm,
I also see fashion as a means and a form of expression.
mm,
And so a very intimate expression, in
mm.
fact.
Yeah.
So you have this tattoo.
Yeah. Uh when I got this tattoo, I didn't even know what I was doing. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
Um I actually
And if you can tell your life story in the midst of the stories, that'd be great too.
uh so okay. So let me just say that I never thought I would get a tattoo.
Yeah.
Part of that is I grew up real religious, and tattoos were something that we weren't ever. It was never okay to get a tattoo. So I think it just kind of got ingrained in my mind that I wasn't going to get one. But beyond that, I'm one of those people that I'm like, I want change. I like to change it up. And so I felt like if I put a tattoo on my body, it was permanent, and I didn't want to get stuck with anything. So um, I bought a ring one day. I don't know, off Etsy or something, and it said, "I am enough." And I love the ring. And I'm getting to think, oh, why did I want it? I think I don't think I really knew when I got it what it meant, but something in me was like, you need to know this. You need to remember it. And
So you weren't actually drawing like an emotional
ah
connection to the
no,
words. You
no.
just
It
thought it
was
was attractive.
cute. It was a
Yeah.
cute ring that had a nice little message on it. I could look at it and say, yeah, I am enough, and just kind of like go about my day. you know but I lost it, and then I kind of guess I missed it because I missed the evidently I had a little bit deeper connection with the sentiment of it that I wasn't aware of at the time. But it was my daughter's birthday. She had a big party. She had a tattoo artist there. Your girl had a couple of shots, and all of a sudden I was like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna get a tattoo.
So there was no actual premeditation to this actual tattoo moment.
um No, it was literally at the moment, at the time, there was no premeditation. It was, I missed having my ring, and I said, I loved it so much, I wanted something permanent on me that said that. That's why I got that tattoo. Now, that was at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Since then, um, it has a tremendous meaning to me.
Yeah.
Um, since then, as I've learned more about myself, not just who I am, but actually what I'm not.
Mm,
That part.
I love that.
Yeah. Um, I realized there was always a part of me that needed the validation of being okay in this world. I needed to, and this is the disconnect that I had to the tattoo when I got it. There was no real connection, but I've done a lot of self work, and in this self work, I had to realize that part of my human design, part of what makes me me, is looking outside of myself for that validation that I'm loved, that what I show up, what I bring to the table will be accepted. Um, and I never really made that connection. You know, I had a ring, got a tattoo, didn't make the connection until I actually started learning my human design and I studied my identity center and learned that the identity center is that feeling you get of I'm good, of who I am is enough. As soon as I step in the room, everything's good, no questions asked. I never had that feeling. I
Mm.
never had that feeling. So, yeah, that tattoo has given me. It's interesting that I put it on the inside of my arm. I have another one over here. I guess she'll probably ask about it.
Yeah.
But I put it on the inside because I felt like it was an inside thing. It was for me to know, not for it to be on the outside to other people to read. But it's like when I was driving, I'd look down and I couldn't help but notice it and remind myself. So that's the way deeper meaning is that it's to remind myself that girl, you show up, you come in the room, you wake up in the morning, you're already qualified, already made it, and I don't have to do nothing else. And it really helped me be able to ground in that. And sometimes, you know, as we talk about this tattoo, I'll just
You don't jump ahead. I'm the
don't jump
question
ahead.
answer
All
asker
right.
today.
So this is the left hand, left arm, and it's a beautiful reminder that I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Rock solid.
Yeah.
I love that. Thank you for
Yeah.
your share.
You're welcome.
So, I love this way of getting to know you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, yeah, I love this way. You good with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm good.
Again, I started with the
Yeah.
caveat of we recorded an episode to start our launch of this podcast,
Yeah.
and it felt a lot different than this one, didn't it?
Yeah. I did.
Yeah.
It did.
And even this one, we're still trying to anchor in it a little bit more, and we will. That's a part of starting something new is really allowing us ourselves the grace and space to refine it and
Yeah.
to make it our own and to really find a comfortable spot in it all, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It feels good though. It feels good.
No, it does.
Yeah.
So, the topic I think we were supposed to be talking about, I don't think I'm even going to approach it. I just want to stay in this, get to know you.
Okay.
And you can ask questions to allow the people to get to know me so it doesn't feel like, it's all you in the hot seat. I do want to keep time kind of cute because today I thought we would just do like a quick introduction because there's a lot going on, needless to say, right? There's a lot of preoccupation with life at large. The time changing was another element to this whole situation, but
Good weekend to choose.
I mean, I know, right? It's my kid's birthday, the time change, the election in the States, there's all kind of distractions, right? But truly this is just our effort to do the thing, okay? To stop talking about it, but to be about it and just let it take care of itself. Today, like I said, is really about a reintroduction of both of us. And after this podcast episode, we're going to go live on Zoom for a short time. And actually, I was thinking we needed to go on Zoom, but I'm still learning YouTube, y'all. I don't know any of the things, okay? So we can chat on YouTube. Also, we have to know all these things. Thank you, Alia. We appreciate you for joining. Um, I don't know. So, as we refine some of the logistics of how to navigate the internet while we do this really sacred work with you all, I ask for a tremendous amount of grace and help if you know how to navigate these terrains a little bit more seamlessly. We absolutely are open to the direction. But yeah, today I really just want to let people get to know us a little bit more. I think people know me through channeling and, a little bit of my storytelling in the morning messages for those who shout out to y'all who join the morning messages. But in our effort to really expand everyone else's knowledge base of how to grow in and of themselves, either using human design or self mastery or any other techniques that we teach, intuition development, any other techniques that we teach, it really is going to be a great place to be. This is going to be a great place for you to learn more of those things from us. And as we build more of the community on our mobile app. Shout out to Mighty Network. Okay.
We got an app, y'all.
We got an app community, y'all. So stick around for the latter part of this conversation on how to get involved in that. It is exclusive, it is private, it is not being available to the masses just yet. So when I say exclusive and private, meaning that if you're here on this YouTube, you now are potentially able to become a part of our community. And I say potentially because you got to want to be able to live the life that we're talking about. It's like doing your actual personal growth work, not talking about it, but challenging yourself to be about it, but not in isolation. It's in community. So we got tips, pointers, techniques, worksheets, books, all kind of tools that you journal prompts, all kind of things that you'll be able to use to accelerate your growth on your personal growth journey. And of course, we offer programs and services in-house that'll help you with some more of those things. So
I think that's one reason why people have a hard time staying consistent with their growth. Is because if you're the only one doing it, and many times, let's just keep it real. Many times, you may be the only one in your friend group who actually reads or who actually
damn.
Well, when I say everybody can read, but actually like intentionally finds books to actually
is a lifelong learner.
Right, lifelong learner.
Okay.
I think they're probably even saying I'm right about the first one.
That might be true. I know people who don't really do it that well.
Yeah,
so it's a true statement.
People who actually read on purpose and really
seek knowledge and understanding.
Yes, and so in that, if you are that type of person,
I don't read, bro.
I'm just saying, if you're that type of person where growth is important to you and you want to be better this year than you were last year, but you're surrounded maybe by people who that's not their priority. They're just happy to just be here, just to just exist. It can be a lonely road. Yeah. And I think we've both seen that in our personal journeys.
Yeah. And to that extent, it can be a lonely road to do your inner work because people know you as who you are. And they don't know you as who you can be all the time. There's some people in your life that can see your potential and challenge you to become it. But the large majority of the people that are around us really are comfortable with who we are. That's why they seek our company, is they're comfortable with who we are. They may or may not be exactly comfortable with where we're going. So I think it is important. And I know for me, along my own personal journey, I had to figure a lot of stuff out just by myself. It was just like a lot of, but that's my profile. That one in my profile makes me want to investigate things. So it's like, if I got curious about meditation, I didn't have anybody in my circle that I could really tap in for that. How do I do that? Because they wasn't doing that. Right. So then I got to get on the internet and go into YouTube or, happen to have a conversation with the massage therapist who's teaching me strategies or, things like that. So it's like even things like journal prompts. I've always been a journaler my whole life. Okay. I've always been a journaler, but I didn't always know what to ask myself or where to go in the conversation with myself. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah. You're talking about like growth. We're talking about taking your life to a new level. And sometimes that happens when we least expect it. Yeah. Be careful what you ask for. If you ask for, if you ask for enlightenment, you ask to, know your purpose, just get ready for things to start to switch up on you. Yeah. And it's a good switch up, But at the same time, it reminds me,
It's a
like,
whole different way of life, though.
yeah, it reminds me, maybe about 5 years ago when I first encountered my first shadow work
Hmm.
on my own. Shadow work, for those of you who don't know, shadow work is when you start to release old baggage, old energy that no longer serves you and never did, but we hold on to these things. And I just, by accident, did some shadow work and blew my own mind. And I tried to Google it. I tried to research it. There was nothing at that time.
So you got activated emotionally and didn't know what was
I had
happening
no
and what to do
clue.
with it and how to process it.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Yeah,
I really thought I was losing my mind for a minute. I
yeah,
wasn't sure what was going on. And there was nothing outside of myself. I did the research, I looked for it, I found nothing. And I forget how I actually came to the conclusion of shadow work because I don't even know that word.
yeah.
I wasn't even familiar with the word shadow work. So just saying,
Like
y'all.
a lot of people think
Yeah.
they're just having like a panic attack, you know,
Yeah.
because it has a lot of elements of that. You know, it can be activating, and shadow work can be activating to the point of panic, but it's not panic for just anxiety's sake. It like
No.
comes out of nowhere, out of the shadow,
Out
right?
of the
It's like those
shadow.
hidden emotions and
Yeah. Yeah.
feelings and experiences that we don't speak to or don't fully process.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like we're offering guides to and support to those things, programs, workshops that I don't want to say any of the names just yet, but yeah, that one healing one. I need to heal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's a lot coming your way, especially if you plan to join our community, and we'll talk more about that in just a second. But I think we need at least one more question from Victoria. Do you guys have any
Of
questions
course.
for Vic? Those of you in the audience, anybody?
Oh, wow.
I'm trying to make it fair so that I'm not. Yes, happy birthday to my babies. Shout out to Ryan. What's up? Thanks for joining the space,
Yeah.
Amanda.
Hey, y'all. Ali, oh my
Yeah,
God.
so let's see. I always have questions. I'm with this person 24 hours a day all the time, but I still am always fascinated and interested to know what she knows because she knows so many things. Um, Maybe you can tell us. I know I can feel the telepathy of don't you ask no.
No,
Okay.
I'm open. I'm completely
Yeah,
open.
I
I
feel that.
am.
I
I
don't feel
am.
any
No,
resistance.
this is what I'm here for. I'm grateful.
Yeah.
So, what y'all got?
So, yeah, that was gonna be my question, and Tia jumped in there. That was gonna. I didn't want to go there, so I'm gonna layer that question a little bit.
Oh,
Okay.
Tia. Okay. I see
Yeah.
Tia's question.
So,
I don't have my glasses on, but I was squinting.
okay, no, I got you. So I'm gonna couch her question, but I'm gonna couch it differently.
All right.
Okay. Okay. How has human design changed your life?
I knew you were going to say that.
That's because we share a brain.
Yeah.
That's why.
Okay. How has human design changed my life?
And you can infuse how you got
Yeah.
introduced.
So it's changed my life in so many, 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 many different ways.
Be specific.
But I will be specific about one of the many ways.
Okay.
Is so I was taught to worry. I mean, you don't think I
Cut
was
to
going there,
it.
right?
I don't think. Okay. Go.
Okay.
I wasn't ready
So
for that entry, but
okay.
but carry on.
Yeah. So I was taught to worry from a very early age.
Yeah.
And I'm getting to human design, I promise. But
Yeah.
um I grew up very Christian, in a Christian household. My parents were God fearing people, taught me to be God fearing. Um, and yet, and still, I remember my mother, especially, was a world class warrior. Yeah, like, we say, pray about it, give it to God. We say, it's out of your hands, you got to give it up. And she would say all those things. But then yet she would worry and cry and fret and give herself migraines. And I think she suffered from depression most of her life because she worried a lot. And she was my biggest example of what it means to be a woman. And so I picked up from my mom that when challenges come, it's okay to pray about it. But um, when you get up from your kneeling, when you get up from the bedside, it's okay to still hold on to it and to stress about it and to do whatever it takes to do whatever it takes to fix that shit. Can I cuss? Are we cussing?
Of course.
Okay.
I'm doing good though,
Okay,
huh?
you
You
are.
haven't
That's
heard
what I was wondering because
anything.
I was like, she said nothing. Should I say something? Okay. So not do nothing to fix that shit. Like it was this real um it was real easy to not rely on anybody or anything beside myself to make a situation different that I didn't like, that I didn't prefer. Human design has really caused me to see that part of myself in a whole new way. With all of the religiosity that I was brought up in, I've been able to put that aside and actually look at what does my actual faith look like. Like human design has challenged me. It's changed my life because it's challenged me to really ask myself when things happen that upset me or stress me out or make me feel insecure about my future, where is that coming from, number one? And it's changed how I approach my life and how I'm able to really learn how to sit back and literally chill. I've gone from worry to chill. And I think that's the biggest way. And I'll just say one more thing
Yeah.
about that. So it doesn't mean that I don't have a lot of things that I can worry about. Life is still life.
I'm going to qualify everything you're saying in just a second.
Okay, yeah. Life is still life. Like life has not gotten it ain't changed necessarily, but it's me. It's how I've approached life that has changed.
Yeah, I got to do it.
Okay.
So I have to qualify it all now because human design itself has not done all that. You have done all that. You've made the choice to start paying attention to yourself and how you move in the world and what feels resonant and what feels authentic and what doesn't. And you are gravitating toward more of what feels resonant.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So it's like, I don't want people to get a misunderstanding about human design specifically, because sometimes we can talk about it, and I'm guilty of this too.
Mm-hmm.
We can talk about it as if it solves the problem.
Right. No. No.
And it don't.
No.
Human design is a tool.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
And I want to be very careful
Yeah.
about how we talk about it because it starts to feel a little cult-like. Like,
oh no.
and I don't. I mean, like it's like when people find something they're really into, it's like, you know this thing, and everybody wants to talk about this thing and this thing. But it's still just a thing. The thing is something that you can use to then create different outcomes or create a new understanding of yourself.
Yeah, no. So thanks for saying that because I don't want anybody to misunderstand.
And we'll be talking more about what human design is. That's why she's here. That's why we're here again, is to really bring more of this understanding. Maybe let's start with what human design is.
Well, let me finish what I started saying.
Okay,
first.
sure.
Because I want to make sure that I qualify what I said.
Yeah, sure.
Is that human design allowed me to see myself from a different perspective.
Yeah.
And to see my motivation, why I do the things I do.
Yeah.
From a real clear perspective. It slowed me down to actually look at myself from the inside out. Okay. And when I say the inside out, it's like, okay, how do you feel right now? Mm-hmm. Because I am not normally thinking about how I feel. Mm-hmm. That's not something that I usually do. I'm just going through the motions and getting things done. And I'm not looking at what are the feelings? What am I feeling that is actually causing me to get things done? And so human design slowed me down. Knowing my human design helped me to be more intentional about, okay, hold on. I'm feeling worry. I'm feeling anxiety. Okay, why? What's going on? What do you feel? Okay, because I am stressing about X, Y, Z. So before I was not being at all. I wasn't thinking like,
introspective in that
no,
way.
no. I was just automatically going to survival mode, get it fixed. I went from worry and stress straight to action. I never checked in to see, is this right
What
for
your gut
me? What
felt.
my gut? No, gut who? Gut what? Please, whatever. No, not at all. It was all in my
Yeah,
thinking mind, and I'm a
for
thinker.
sure.
I'm a thinker, and so it actually gave me some context. It's kind of like you don't know what you need to do until you actually look at it for what it is.
Yeah.
And then I was able to actually use it as a tool and actually flip it and make it work for me. And for me, the biggest thing was I went from worrying about a lot of things to um, being way more intentional about how I view life in general and those circumstances that come up that could worry me. I've learned that I have a choice.
Hmm.
I have a choice, and that's really what human design, the
Yeah.
knowing my human design taught me.
Yeah, for sure.
Hmm.
And those of you who are curious to learn more about your human design or just human design in general, again, you're in the right place. And it depends on how far down the study hole you want to go in this community that we've built. I mean, already there's a whole robust, what is it? I was going to say vocabulary, library of resources.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to really understand even what your body graph says, like even before we do a workshop to join our community and tap into these resources, you'll be able to start doing a lot of your own self study, which is
Yeah.
what we encourage
Yeah.
in general. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
And I'll just to answer Tia's
yeah,
question
yeah.
most specifically, she said,
Hmm.
how did I get involved? I literally had somebody, an acquaintance of mine. She saw how I was moving. She saw how I was reacting to things. And she just offhandedly said, do you know your human design? Literally, it was just somebody asking me a question. And I said, no, what is that? And she didn't tell me. She just said, go look it up. And I'm like, how you gonna just drop that in my lap?
Right. It's all cryptic.
And what's funny is that I'm like, now that I look back on it, her telling me to look it up because I'm a researcher, that's a part of my human
Perfect.
design.
Yeah.
That was the perfect thing for her to say to me, is to go look it up. And literally, I went down my own self study, many rabbit holes later, and realized that it was going to be not just an intricate part of my life, but it is the main thing that I do. This is who I be.
Hmm.
Eat, sleep, drink, human design. And so it really was, that was all it took, was somebody just mentioning it to me. And I know on in hindsight, that I had been a seeker before then.
Hmm.
I was seeking clarity for my life. I was seeking clarity for learning. I wanted to be closer to spirit. I wanted to redefine my relationship with God. I was asking for those things.
Yeah.
And she was just, her question was one of many um, synchronicities that actually brought me to this place here.
Yeah.
So, mhm.
And I thank God for it, girl, because
Me
it's changed
too.
my life too.
Yeah. So for you, here's the hot seat.
Right?
Here we go.
Okay. Just pass
Yeah,
that real
yeah,
smooth too.
yeah. So for you, now that you say that, so for you, um, same question. How has human design changed your life? I think that people know how you came to know human design. We've
Yeah.
talked about that several times, but how has it changed your life?
Yeah. So um I want to back up just a little bit and give, for those who are not familiar with human design at all and have no idea what the hell we're talking about. Let me give just a little bit more background context. So many of you may already know that I started my career as a counselor and then transitioned into personal coaching. Um, was a counselor for 20 years and then became a life coach. And, having a counseling background, I already had a lot of tools that I had learned through that mechanism. And then just by my own natural design, I've always been intuitive and had an access to wisdom that I had no idea how I knew or how I got it, but just always kind of knew things that I didn't know how I knew. So between my education and training, and then later my work experience, that took me through a lot of helper healer kinds of positions, from social worker to teacher to even a basketball coach at one time, a student, a coach. Um, I landed in higher education and found that that was just not enough for me. I found that even with I loved working with people. Um, and I knew that I had a gift for working with people. I knew I had the skills and ability. I was already seeing clients and stuff before I learned human design, but I did always feel like there was something more that I could be offering people.
Mm.
I still feel that, and I think that's just always going to be a thing, honestly. Even that's why I was such a head case before I came on here today, because I'm like, am I ready to offer the people all the things?
You're ready. You're
So yeah, that's why we're here. So when human design came into my life, I wasn't really looking at it as something that was for me. I didn't have the same kind of visceral response that Vic had, like, oh, let me go research this and find out more about it. I had the opposite experience actually. And I was more like, oh my God, this shit is too much and it's daunting. And how is this ever going to make sense in my life? And they infuse in astrology and I don't know that either. And it's all kind of stuff that just felt like more than what I'd be interested in. But and I was right at that time. It was more than what I was interested in. But through the magic of Clubhouse, which is an online app, still exists. Yeah, it's an online app that introduced people to a lot of different kinds of content. I got an exposure and experience there that by the time I met Vic and she brought it to me again, and she's talking about it now in a new way, in a new language, and maybe I had new ears to hear it. But I'm like, this sounds like something that could really be more transformative. And through her patience with me and constant answering of all of my questions, because I have a one in my profile too, but I would rather ask you a lot of questions than go down the rabbit hole of listening to all the books.
That's true.
If there's a shorter cut, I'm going for it. I'm going to take the class before I do the self study. And some of you agree. And that's why we're offering workshops and programs in 2025 so that you can do just that. In fact, our Human Design in a Nutshell program is going to be perfect for those of you who maybe have done your own body graph reading. You've done a one-on-one reading with us, but now you want to just learn more about human design because maybe you want to use it for work or in your relationship or whatever reason you want to just learn human design specifically. It's going to be for you. Yeah. So everybody's not a Vic, and sometimes people are Allah-mis. But there's going to be resources for both because you want to speak to some of the resources that are already inside our online community?
Well, yeah. So we've got, first let me say, human design did not make sense to me at first either, y'all. It's not like I saw it and totally understood it.
I didn't speak to how it changed my life, but I'm going to shut up so you can.
Well, no, I think you did.
Did I?
What I heard was. Well, it's taking. I would say you were talking about therapy, but I'm assuming you're also including your coaching.
Yeah.
Your coaching practice. Take it to another level, so you're able to elevate the service.
Tell them what happened to me. No, you're doing a good job.
You're able to elevate the service that you bring people. Right?
Yeah, it's true, but even more specific to my personal experience, I'm still studying myself. And I plan to for the rest of my days because human design has such nuance to it that it can allow you to see so many details in yourself if you want to look for it.
Yeah.
And so, I was learning how my blessings come in and I've been just learning all kinds of things that have been transformative. And so how has it changed my life? I think it's honestly made me a better partner.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's made me a better person. Mm-hmm. And I'm still working out some kinks in my personhood.
We all are. Yeah,
but it's made me a better human.
Can you be a bit more specific?
Yeah, because it's like I now am making decisions from a very honest and high truth place. Okay. It's like my decisions, it's like they're all no Vaseline right now. Okay. And that's a very provocative way to say that. But it's true. It's because as a generator type, I have a gut. I have a very clear yes and a very clear no.
Yeah.
way to decide things. And everybody's not that clean cut in that particular way. Everybody has a way to get to knowing. But I'm very clear through my human design that if my gut says yes, it's yes. And if it says no, it's no. And that has literally cut out a lot of bullshit out of my life.
I'm just laughing because I've heard you say, I'm just replaying all the times I've heard her say, gut says no.
Period. Next, I don't even say stuck there. So what that does for me, just that little nugget, aside from all the other components about myself that I've discovered, which make me draw my energy back in certain ways and push it forward in other ways, meaning it it's making it, understanding myself to this degree that human design has allowed me to understand myself. It allows me to really carve out the lane in life that feels most resonant for me. It really does. It gives me permission to just be myself. And it teaches me where I have bullshit also to still master. But it helps me. It's like the x-ray, it's like you go to the doctor will look at you topically and see what they can see, but it's not until they start running tests and see that x-ray that they really know, like really diagnostically, what is going on.
Yeah.
And so that is what human design has done for me personally. Is it allowed me to see my gifts and how I'm great, but it's also allowed me to see more clearly where I got some shit I still got to work through.
Yeah.
And it's that way for everybody if you want to look at it that way,
I think everybody knows that they got stuff to work on, but they don't know where to start.
Yeah.
And I think human design is it helps you have a new perspective on what those things are and actually how to approach them.
Yeah.
And it gives you it's like I love that it gives you back your autonomy.
Yeah. It tells you that it's okay to be yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. and whatever that looks like.
Because you can always find the high vibrational expression of yourself.
Yeah.
We all have kind of these, as we would say in this land, these positive and negative characteristics, right? Things that clearly bring value to ourselves and our world, and things that clearly don't, right?
High vibe, low vibe.
Yeah, it's like human design says that everybody is uniquely perfect in and of themselves, but you have a choice in how you express your gifts.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like you have a choice to be that low petty self, or you can be that conscious higher self, that greater self that's making decisions in your life. Yeah. Everybody has the choice. So that's what I love, is that nobody has a deficit. And there are we all have different gifts, right?
Yeah.
And we all have some level of awareness. And then some of us don't. Some of us don't have an awareness of gifts that we really have and what we bring into the world. And we live that way as if we don't know.
Yeah.
And those of you who are feeling unsure about kind of what your path and purpose is, it's like, this is a great place to hang out, because this is what we talk about. And the community will introduce to you more tips and tools and strategies and programs and workshops that we're offering to help y'all get it figured out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm just really excited about it all. I'm excited to connect with people.
Yeah.
With you guys, I'm excited to share what I know, not just book knowledge, but just life experience.
Yeah.
What I know to be true for myself.
Yeah.
Because I've lived it and I've learned from it. And so, yeah.
So I think now is a good time to start to wind things down and talk about what things look like in terms of this ecosystem and next steps.
Okay.
So, and some of this Vic doesn't even know, because I've been still channeling and downloading some intricate details. What I can assure you is that we are branching out and making pathways available for you all to work with us in some kind of capacity. That has been my personal goal over the last year or so, is to really find offerings that can meet people where they are and be price pointed at a way that is affordable, honestly. So before we end this podcast, I do want to make it clear that the community that we are building is not isolated to a certain group of individuals per se, but we do want people who have kind of a common mission of growing personally and professionally. Like, you've got to have some degree of ambition in your life. If you don't want much and you're content with where you're at in life, then this is probably not the community for you. This is for people who know they need accountability, they know they need support, they know they want to continue to learn. It's like those lifelong learners. It's like, I know I haven't quite figured this shit out perfectly because I'm still here and I'm still growing. But I know that when I'm held accountable to certain principles and practices, I do know that that tends to, again, alleviate some of the excess chaos out of my life.
Mhm.
So that allows me to stay focused toward my purpose and my mission in life. Some people don't even know they have a mission in life.
Yeah. And that's one of my favorite things to do is to share what their soul came here to do.
Yeah,
I think that's one of the most exciting things
in human
that,
design. Yeah,
yeah, is that, guys, we not just here sucking up air.
yeah,
We do, but that's not the only reason why we came here.
yeah,
And so human design, um, it validates what you already feeling.
yeah.
So like when I say I'm enough because I'm actually moving in my purpose.
Hmm.
And that's what I came here to do. So therefore I am enough. And I'm really loving that I get the opportunity to share this excitement and this
Yeah,
this fulfillment, this feeling of not that everything's perfect. It's that I've learned how to be good with the imperfection
yeah.
and I've learned how to,
Navigate.
yeah, and alchemize it.
Hmm.
Yeah, like flip that shit up around. Like
Yeah.
yeah. So good
So,
stuff.
yeah,
That's good
absolutely.
stuff.
And that to me is the key to life. That's really what mastery is making conscious choices and alchemizing the results that you're getting in life. It's like life is going to life, y'all. It's not going to let up. It's not going to stop. And as you all know, there's a lot of things actively happening in our ecosystems right now
Yeah.
where life is changing literally moment to moment. There's a huge election, as we know, in America that is underway right now, which is going to change the landscape one way or the other. And so it's like, everybody's got to choose what they're prioritizing in life. And I know for me, there's so many things that I don't get to control in life, that the things that I do I really hold sacred, and I know I get to control how I feel.
Mm.
I get to control where I put my time and attention. I get to control, who I spend my time with in community. I get to control where I focus and
Mhm.
what I'm building. I get to control a whole lot of things that when I put my attention there, I start to feel a lot more empowered.
Mhm.
I also get to connect with my higher power, which also gives me a source of even greater control in my life. I know
Absolutely.
everybody's relationship is different, but for me personally, when I start to feel overwhelmed, one of my key strategies includes, of course, prayer and meditation, but it's also a conscious self talk that reminds me that life is bigger than what I'm seeing and,
Mm.
and what it looks like on the surface. Life really is bigger than this stuff. So I want to teach you all a lot of these strategies. I want to help you guide yourself through your own self discovery journey. And through the Everydayers Intentional Living community is how we plan to do this. Um, excuse me, I'm choking just a little bit. I'm gonna drink
Mhm.
your water too. I
That's
drink
okay.
my own.
Yeah, I share.
I share. So the everydayers. Excuse me. Immediately following this podcast, I'm actually gonna jump on a call. Those of you who know, you know who you are. I'll send you the link in just a second. The Everydayers is an intentional living community that has been in the works for years. Um, Currently, there is a Facebook community that exists, and it's been crickets over there for probably the last year because I had just kind of lost my momentum and my interest in using that particular platform to foster um, the conversations that I know need to be had for people to grow. So Facebook wasn't really doing it for me. So I kind of abandoned it over there. It's probably mostly friends and family that weren't really invested in that degree, just being supportive. But nonetheless, I moved away from Facebook and we are now on Mighty Networks. Okay. Mighty Networks is a private community. Okay. The community that we've built on Mighty Networks is a private community. And the reason for it is because I really want to build with folks who are already in community extending that support through this community. Okay. So it's like if you've come through a workshop, a program, if you've done a reading, if you've been a coaching client, like you're the folks that we're starting with. And it doesn't mean that we're not going to ever open it up to folks at large. Many of you may have friends and family that may want to join, the colleagues that you may want to help get involved now. We're open to that. It's not isolated to just specific people, but it's not open. Like I don't have it just an open door on the website. You won't see me just publicly advertising the everydayers, but it's more like if you know somebody, then you can probably get in.
Yeah.
Okay. And inside this ecosystem and this online application is going to be, like I said, this is where we're hosting all of our programs, our workshops. This is where you can come in to get information and resources. If you're doing your own personal growth stuff, you may not even want to join the weekly calls or do the wellness workshops that are monthly. You may not want to do those things. You may want to just be in the ecosystem, just getting the daily messages. Those of you who love the morning messages, they will be housed inside the membership community. Okay. Those of you who love collective messages, you'll be able to catch some of that inside the online community as well. Okay. It's a lot of energy around you um, around you really finding the price point that works for you, but that base access, the base access entry is going to be only $24.99. And again, it affords you at least minimum access to be inside the ecosystem. Even if maybe your price point, your pockets can't afford the higher tier, you can at least get the daily messages. You can at least be a part of our 30-day challenges, which are going to be wellness, habit forming wellness challenges, so that you can learn how to do things like meditate consistently, so that you can learn things like yoga movements and sun salutations that are great daily practices, so that you can learn, different ways to engage your journal and do deeper self discovery. Even if you can just enter the door on that level, it's going to be well worth it to just get that kind of instruction, support, and encouragement. Those of you who may want to invest a little bit more, that is going to be well worth it, because at $49 a month, you for sure can get weekly, you can get on the weekly coaching call with us. Okay. And that weekly coaching call starts now. We're actually going to start those next Sunday, the 10th. Okay. So we're going to have a brief kind of introduction today, but in terms of getting down to the bare bones of content and how we really can support each other week to week, I definitely would love for you all to be able to join us next week, the 10th, and I will drop the details of how to get involved in that. Now, the middle price point, at the premium price of just $49 a month, that affords you everything that I just mentioned already, those daily morning messages, the 30-day habit forming challenges, the access to the human design and other resources for personal growth and self-discovery. You get access to all of that. You also, like I mentioned, get that weekly coaching call. Now, Vic and I are going to be on the line, but we're also going to be bringing in experts in different aspects of wellness and health and fitness and nutrition and all kinds of things. Because remember, we're creating an ecosystem. We want you all to learn how to do this thing wholeheartedly across the board. Okay. So it's like change your life energy over here. Okay. It's level up energy, as Vic said. It's like, if you're looking at different aspects of your life and you're not satisfied, you might want to start taking inventory of what it looks like to level it up. Okay. And we're going to help guide you through some of those strategies as well. But that weekly coaching call, we're going to start those next week. And like I said, it's private entry. So those of you who are actually interested in joining community, you want to absolutely reach out to me. If you want to let us know on this live, you can do that. You can DM me on Instagram. You can send me an email. You can respond you can send a smoke signal. I have all different kinds of ways for you all to get in touch. You guys are in community with me already, so you know how to reach me. So let me know what you're most interested in. At the VIP price point, which is $99 a month, you get all of the above and access to our monthly wellness workshop series. So every month we are hosting a workshop, okay, whether it's open to the collective at large and you get automatic entry, or it's just private exclusive for you. It's at no additional cost. $99 a month gets you access to the weekly coaching calls, that monthly wellness workshop. It gets you access to the daily morning messages, the habit forming challenge, and the accountability, of course, and so many more things. Okay, because we are building workshops literally as we think of new things that people need to know, and we have the expertise. We're like, let's do it. So it's like it's ever changing content. It is growth oriented. We want to respond to you. So as I mentioned, we have a whole arsenal of things waiting, but we want to make sure that we are responding actively, proactively to what it is that you all are needing. Okay. What is the area of your life that you are struggling with? What is it that you really need support with? What is the accountability even for? What are you trying to get done? It's like we want to start with responding to what you all want before we just open up the floodgates. I will give you one other caveat. We are going to be launching the human design in a nutshell, because that's just going to be our signature baby, that we want people to understand themselves and understand how they're made. So aside from that, what else are you guys struggling with? What are you wanting? Is it more purpose driven content, like unpacking your purpose? Is it more stress management stuff? Is it more, is it just kind of general wellness and well being, holistic strategies? Is it intuition development and learning how to live more intuitively? Is it the self mastery? What is it that most resonates for you all? So there's a platform here for you to share in the comments if you feel inclined to. Again, you all know how to reach me. I've been emailing all of you all or texting you one way or the other. Let me know what it is that you're wanting, what it is that you're needing, so that we can customize this experience. The last thing I'll mention is we are hosting a VIP small group coaching community. Okay, so within this larger community, I have identified 7 spots for folks who want to work in a small group. Right after we do these weekly calls, we will have our separate powwow. Everybody else will leave the call, and those who are in the small group community will remain, and we will do our more accountability oriented work during that time. Okay. Those of you who I've already spoken to, you're already set to go. We'll have our first official call, official call next week. We will get on the line today just to kind of touch base, but I know people had schedules that were kind of everywhere, and there's just a lot of things happening. So I said, well, at least I'll push back the first official weekly call for the whole collective to the 10th. But those of you who are on the call, if you want to, on the live right now, if you want to chit chat for a second, I'll drop the link. You can join it if it resonates for you to do so. Okay. So I'm trying to do my best to plug all the holes of all the things.
Yeah, you're doing a good job.
Again, it's a very private, exclusive community. It is not available to the public at large, but the way you can get involved, if you are here live listening on this podcast, you can book a discovery call by going to begreateveryday.com. That allows us to get to know you. You get to know us. Maybe there's a program or service you're interested in. If not, we can then look at whether or not the community is a good fit. So we're kind of gatekeeping, if you will. We're kind of vetting just so we can keep, one, the numbers low, because we want to make sure that we really refine this community and make it all robust before we just open the floodgates. So
Absolutely.
I hope that makes sense as to kind of what's going on and why it's going on in this fashion. The last thing is, so we are at the beginning of November. We're going to start the calls next week. Okay. I want you all to be thinking about what entry point of membership that you might be looking at. Okay. We're actually not going to start charging you just yet for admission, which is why there's no link, there's nothing available. We want you to just come into community, get a sense of what it's like, and then you can decide how you want to move forward in the new year, if you want to actually subscribe and participate, or if, maybe it was just fun while it lasted. For my small group cohort, we are starting right now. You all know who you are. We are starting again on the 10th. We will get on the call right after the weekly call. That'll be our first starting date. You know who you are. We'll talk more about that as we go. Okay. So I hope it's clear.
Yeah, that's clear.
Y'all, I live a life, and you will too soon. When you live intuitively, You can have all the bright ideas you want, but when you get an inner conviction that things need refinement or need to be curved or need to be shifted in a different direction, like that is what a life of alignment looks like sometimes. And so our ego self wants things to be perfect and practiced and, linear and logical and perfectly wrapped. And then sometimes it comes out like a spilled mess, and then you clean it up as you go.
Yeah. Real familiar with that. Real familiar.
Yeah, I'm way too good at this. I mean, I guess this is part of my mastery in this lifetime, is just not getting irritated every time God sends me.
That's everybody. Yeah, it's all of our challenge.
Ugh.
We want it how we want it to be.
So I'm going to drop a link for those of you who are in the small group cohort. You know who you are. If you are not in this cohort and are interested, that's another reason why I had to push things off, because I had another person that said, I tried to contact you because I'm really interested. So you know who you are. I will contact you after this live, and then we'll see if we can get that going. There is, I think, maybe one more space as of last night. There's one more that was made available. So if anyone is interested in joining our mini cohort of the small group mastermind that is going to be meeting, it is $949 for the year. It's weekly coaching. It's, again, that accountability group after that main community meeting, and it's all the bells and whistles that's included. That weekly, I can't say it, monthly wellness workshop. You get all the bells and whistles and the accountability of a small group cohort. So if you are interested in that, I guess I'm still leaving open a couple more days to get any last stragglers off of this live who may be interested and was not able to contact me in time. We're open, okay? One spot, so better act fast, okay? Better act fast, because we're keeping that group to a small nucleus. Again, they're going to have access to all the bells and whistles immediately. The rest of you will just be able to get on the live calls and get some more of that other stuff while we make sure that our mighty network community is solid, robust, and really ready for that big gate of more of you, okay? Lots of jibber jabber, Allah-mi. Y'all get it? Y'all got it? We good? Any questions? La 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 la. No one, none, no one, none. Okay.
It's been fun.
This has been fun.
Yeah.
We did it.
We did it.
I'm going to drop a meeting link for those of you who are in the small group cohort. Stay tuned. I'll text it to you right now. The rest of you, I thank you so much for joining. Stay tuned. Make sure that you hit me. Let me know if you're interested to join the community. Okay. Just message me, email me, DM me, any way that makes sense. If you are new to community and have never met me in your life or Victoria, and you have no way to get in one of these back channels, then go to begreateveryday.com, book a coaching services discovery call, because this is a group coaching experience. Book the discovery call. Let's get to know each other, see if it's a good fit, and see if we want to grow together from there. Yeah.
I say yes.
Sacro
say yes.
Yes. All right, y'all. Love y'all so much. This has been fun. Thank you for joining. Appreciate your support, and stay tuned.
We'll see you on the after show.
Peace, y'all. Stop it.